Oh, g'day again. Okay, another bit of an update. Basically, haven't actually done a whole lot since the last video, but other than been trying to figure out a heater system for this car. For quite a long time now. I didn't want to hook up the original system, basically because the components are no good anyway. Or the exhaust part of the components are no good, and there's bits and pieces missing, and I didn't like the entire system anyway. I don't like the idea of breathing air that's been circulating around the engine and the exhaust. And I looked at electric heaters. There's a fair range of electric heaters, but none of them have any sort of variability in the control. They're just on or off. The most you can get is a 2-speed fan. That's it. So that's not really suitable either. Then I looked at a diesel caravan heater. They would provide plenty enough heat, but again, there's an expense involved, and you've also got an ignition source that you don't really want in the car. You don't want it up the front near the petrol thing. If you're at the back, then you've got to run a tank from the front, a diesel tank, and there's a whole process involved in that. And it's any ignition source or fire source is an issue if you have an accident. Like it would, you could have an accident and the heater would still be running full bore, and it can basically start a fire. Anyway, so I think I've come up with a solution. I was thinking, just another thought I had was actually running copper tube around the exhaust and a water system and a heater box that I can salvage out of some other car, and that's all complicated and expensive as well. And is it going to be efficient? You could go to all that sort of trouble and then it still doesn't work properly anyway. So what I've come up with, I'm going back to the original idea, but I'm actually going to run 2 fans. I've looked at fans. The best option is a bilge fan, a marine bilge fan. So I'm going to run 2 of them, one for each side. I can put them under the parcel tray in the back where you can't hear them. I could run a gate so I can either draw air from inside the car or draw it from under the car. That's a fairly simple process. But I'm actually going to run them around the exhaust, but instead of the old way where it's just a cylinder around the exhaust, with the air coming from around the engine. I said the air will be either fresh from under the car or circulated from inside the car. I'm going to make 2, or probably more than 2 actually, or 2 to each pipe anyway, sealed stainless barrels that clamp over the exhaust, and they'll be completely sealed, so there's no possible way that it can draw any exhaust fumes in it. If you get an exhaust leak or something, it's not going to draw it into it. Drawing a bit of a diagram, whether it'll make much sense. My drawing's not that crash hot. Okay, so each side is in 2 pieces. This here, as I said, as you can see, there's 2 flats, one here, one here. You've got a round piece here this here is the actual exhaust pipe. Runs through. It will have another piece of round pipe which will go from this point here to this point here, so it'll go up and around, be fully welded, fully sealed, and there'll be one of these on each side of the pipe, so there'll be another one on the underside. Now I thought about putting vent holes along here, but then there's still the risk of it drawing fumes in, and it's there's a possibility that each one of those vents that leak, you can put a gasket in it which might not hold. And then you have the other issue too of you run the air in from this end, and then you've got to run another pipe back from the other end where it can lose its heat. And so I'm thinking is, if we keep the two, they'll be clamped together, but two sealed separate from each other, and we can have the airflow coming in this end, coming out, going up to, there's another piece of the pipe I've made extractor type exhaust, so it'll come out to another one of the same design here, and then come back and into the bottom. So it should minimize any heat loss. So hopefully that sort of makes sense. And so I'm going to get some stainless steel wire from a MIG. I've got stainless out there. I've got quite a bit of it actually. I've got old laundry tubs which I can cut up. And I might even inquire actually about whether I can get some stainless steel pipe for the out, or whether just roll that myself as well. So we'll see how we go with that. Anyway, it all sounds good in theory. Sometimes things that sound good in theory don't always work, but we'll see how it goes, and if it does work, I'll give you an update on it. If anybody else has done anything similar to this, or has worked out or has a better solution to this, I'll be happy to hear about it. And as I said, we'll see how this goes, and obviously when I complete it, whether it works or it doesn't work, we'll do an update on it, so you know. The other thing from the last video, which I showed you, I put these bullet mirrors on. Not terribly happy about the squareness of these. You can see I've marked a few lines on it. I'm going to cut the corners off these, re-weld them, try and take the squareness out of it. I've actually made the one for the other side. I haven't tried on the car yet, but I've made it a little bit different, a bit more rounded. And I'll clean that up a little bit more yet, and we'll see how it looks on the car. And I was thinking about getting them chromed, but when you look at this one, like just the bright steel, it looks quite decent. I'm actually, because chroming's pretty expensive. I'm wondering how I go just polishing the steel up. like fine emery it all first when it's finished and take all the lines and scratches out, which I'd have to do to get it chromed anyway, but then just putting the steel on the buff and putting some clear coat over it. I think I'll try that first, because I was going to paint them black, but I think black will just sort of stand out, look out of place. So yeah, it's another thing that I'll get back to you on, and we'll see if that works as well. Okay, if you like the videos, hit the like please. Thanks for watching. Bye.